Hello and good evening. I wanted to come on live for a few reasons. One, because my marketing rep told me that I needed to. But secondly, the show releases in less than a week. Next Wednesday, the first episode of the Simply Tammy show will premiere on YouTube. I'm dropping it on Wednesday, April 3rd, which is my birthday, at 5:43 p.m. And there's a significance with me and the number 543. So just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the show, why I transitioned from the Women Who Win podcast to the show. And if you happen to jump on while I'm live and you have any questions, you can jump in the comments. I should be able to see your comments. We'll answer any questions. And I am actually going to share who some of my upcoming guests will be. So you'll get to see who to expect to hear from on the Simply Tammy show. So first, starting off with the transition, and some of you may have seen this or heard this in the video. I think we shared a what to expect video a few weeks ago, and I shared in there that the primary reason for the transition, of course, is when I was doing Women Who Win. Amazing time. Talked to some amazing women. As a matter of fact, I want to circle back with some of them to do like a where are they now segment under the Simply Tammy show. So the only reason I did a pivot from that was because I wanted to expand my audience of who I could speak with and who I could interview. So part of that came from right after I had decided to take a pause from doing Women Who Win for a minute. And the initial pause was solely because of the demand of finding guests, sending them requests, doing the advertisements, and having to do the hey Ty, thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for you guys to see some of the people that I'm gonna talk to. I probably need to get you on here soon, so I need to probably be in contact. Um, and so during the time that I was doing the Women Who Win, once I decided to take a break, I got an idea for a show segment that didn't necessarily have anything to do with Women Who Win, and of course, couldn't kind of figure out how to fit it up under the umbrella, and just kind of tucked it into my journal when I wrote out what I heard, and left it there. So then when I knew that I wanted to get back to doing interviews, and those of you that know me know that just in general conversation, asking questions is just naturally what I do. I love conversations. I love getting to know people on a deeper level. And so there's a level of fulfillment that I get from having conversations and doing interviews that is not really fulfilled anywhere else. So that was another reason that I knew I had to get back to it. And I was going to initially launch it under the Life Speaks podcast. So some of you may have seen that branding for a while. And again, not wanting to limit who I talked to. After I did a test run, me and a friend of mine met with my videographer, which is another change because all of the Women Who Win interviews were just me behind this computer with another guest in a virtual space. The majority or a great number of the interviews on the Simply Tammy show are going to be live. So God opened a door for me to get a business space last year. So I've been able to utilize that space to bring people in to do live interviews. So that has been absolutely amazing. There will still be some virtual segments because everyone that I would want to talk to is not here locally. So you'll get a good mix of the live ones and me still coming on in this particular platform with some individuals doing some virtual segments. So once I decided, okay, don't just want, well, I was going back to me and a friend met up to try to test because I was still going to try to do them live, and we were trying to see what functionality my videographer had to be able to do that. Ran into a few issues. It wasn't really how I wanted it to be. And I'd already kind of spoken with him about doing some pre-recorded just because that was going to be an easier way for me to get them out there. And So that's what we ended up deciding to do. And after that first meeting, again, not wanting to limit what I could do and who I could speak with, I decided to go ahead and move forward with calling it the Simply Tammy Show. So with that being said, I want to first share, and I should have already added this in here. Let me go grab these graphics real quick. And if you happen to be listening and have any questions, you can drop some questions in the chat. Um, right now, as I told you, the first segment is dropping next Wednesday on my birthday. Happy birthday to me at 5:43 p.m. And that is the date and time that I plan to keep unless something changes or happens. Wednesdays at 5:43. They will premiere on YouTube and be shared to my Facebook page. And I believe my marketing rep will be able to put them on IG or do something on IG. I let her do what she does. So um, yeah. So one of the things that I've mentioned a videographer, I mentioned marketing. One of the things that I knew I had to do with coming back into this space different than when I did Women Who Win is that I was going to have to get some help. Just because trying to do everything myself, if you're doing anything and you expect it to grow or to flourish, you're going to have to allow some other people to come into that space and lend their expertise to it, even if you have a certain level of skill with which you can do it. For me, it's been an interesting transition. Don't necessarily think that I'm a person that likes to control things, but I know I like things the way that I like things. So having to trust someone else to do what they do and be okay with it and be okay with transitioning from what was to what it will be based off of things, the look and the feel of things changing, has been a transition, but it's also been a place of excitement because, again, for it to become more than what I was able to do on my own, I had to allow some other people. So, in addition to partnering with a videographer and someone to help with marketing, I also spoke with someone today to help me on the email side of things because I am, still kind of scouting out who my guests will be, reaching out to them and corresponding with them. So if I can get someone to kind of help fill in that space, that will free my hands a little bit as well because I am still hands on in the process with doing some of the editing. So have been watching some of the pre-recorded segments and polishing things up to the best of my ability. Just heads up, things are not going to be perfect, but they are going to be good. The content is just really good. I'm even hearing them over again, even though of course I was there doing the interview. Hearing them over again has been an extreme blessing to hear some of these stories. So I cannot wait for you guys to meet some of these guests on this level. Some of them, especially if you're local to the Greenville, South Carolina area, because all of my guests so far have been local. You will know them, but there may be some things that you're going to learn about them from this interview segment. So I wanted to share, and this video is not going to be much longer. This was also shared in the What to Expect video, so you may already be familiar with this. What is it that you're going to get from the Simply Tammy show? So we will have different segments based off of the guests. So the segment will have a theme. So there is a segment that we call Life Speaks. So those individuals will be sharing stories of divine providence. You will be able to hear and learn more about them, but there is a particular part or question in there where they will share based off of something that God has done for them, that they know that it was nothing but God or that allowed that to happen. I also have a segment called Great Grace. So I am able to sit down with some married couples and they are sharing their stories of lasting love. It has been fun so far getting to know some of them again on a deeper level. There's some of their stories of what they've walked through thus far. So that's going to be exciting. Another segment, and this is the segment that was given to me a few years ago, right after I was doing Women Who Win, and it's called And the Beat Lives On. And the premise for this segment initially was for me to interview women who had lost their mother and how they were allowing that legacy of their mother to live on and celebrating that life. But I have not limited and will not limit it to just women who lost their mother. So I'm interviewing individuals who have lost parents, siblings, spouses, or children, and they get to share their stories of how they're celebrating their loved one beyond that moment of grief during those segments. And then another segment is called Sister Sister, where I will be sitting down with some women to hear their stories of sisterhood and friendship, and how it benefits their life, why it has been important to them, and why they hold people close in that space as sister or friend. So those are, as I stated in the What to Expect video, those are going to be the main segments. There may be some others if I get some other ideas, or thoughts to do, but those are going to be the main segments, and have already up to this point pre-recorded 7 shows, and have several more scheduled throughout the upcoming weeks. Again, the first one drops next week on Wednesday, April 3rd at 5:43 p.m. And I am going to share, lastly, who some of my upcoming guests will be. I'm not going to tell you who the first one is. If you think you know who it is or you want to guess, you can drop that in the comments. But some of my upcoming guests are going to be Tracy J. and Lady Marilyn Scurry, Essence Pugh, Pastor Sean Dogan, and also Jason and Alicia Linton, December Rose and Jai, and Ken and D Lindsay. We forgot to do a selfie with the Lindsays while they were in studio, so I had to use one of their promo photos. But these are the individuals that I've already had the opportunity to interview. So you will be seeing at least one of those. They will be the first one to drop next week on Wednesday. And if you think you know who it is or want to guess who you think the first one is, you can drop that in comments, but you will see. Again, Wednesday, April 3rd at 5:43 p.m. It will premiere on YouTube. We'll share it over on Facebook. And I'm just excited that for those of you that supported me during the time of me doing Women Who Win, and even asked when I was going to start the interviews again. Well, I'm back. I'm back, and not just with Women Who Win, but with the Simply Tammy show. So you're going to get to meet some amazing men, women, and couples through this platform. So thank you for your continued support. Thank you for even showing back up after my break. Thank you for even still going back and watching some of the content that's already out there on YouTube. When I was doing Women Who Win, I think it was about 43 ladies that I interviewed, and those interviews are out on my YouTube channel. So if you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. You can set a notification on YouTube so that when content drops, you will get a notification directly from YouTube. So when you subscribe, you can also click the notification bell so that you'll know when it drops. As I mentioned earlier, I have been very active in the editing process. So the first video is ready, and I'm excited about that. So it will be ready and on time for the drop on this Wednesday, and then I'll decide from there who I want to make the second. But as you saw earlier, I dropped the names of people that we've already have interviews with, already have that footage, so we are ready to share their stories with you. And if there's someone that you know, either local to Greenville, South Carolina, or located anywhere in US, because I can still do the virtual interview, send me a message on one of my social media platforms, or you can email me. If you happen to know me personally, you have my number, you can text me. Let me know who they are, and I can reach out to them, or they can reach out to me and get them scheduled. But I'm so very excited to have you join me on this journey of celebrating stories of some amazing people. That is all I have for this evening. If you happen to comment afterwards with any questions that I see in the comments, I will respond. And just looking forward to taking this journey with you. Have a great evening.